later for another festival or event or just to hang out.
Mayor, you wanted to add?
Yeah, and I just want to say, first of all, I want to give a shout out to Tavis and the entire Experience Waterloo department for making sure that people understand the great things that are taking place within our local community. I mean, if you take a look at just downtown and the fact that we have a museum district with the Grout, with the Sullivans, with the Dan Gable Wrestling Museum, the fact that Waterloo, Iowa has the largest Haitian art collection in the world. And then you take a look at the fact that Lost Island Water Park is ranked #2 in the United States in the top 5 internationally. But these types of quality of life amenities, they've done such an excellent job of bringing those to life. And I always say, you know, if people say, why Waterloo? Well, why not Waterloo? That's the phrase, and that's what people are saying. So we have so much to offer RAGBRAI, and we have so much to offer. So when you take a look at experience, that's what it's all about. So incredible name and incredible group of people to work with.
Absolutely. And Tavis, I know that the mayor thinks you're doing a great job. We all do. And of course, I want to thank personally, though, Lindsay Peters of Experience Waterloo for lining up the interview for us today on pretty short notice. And we do appreciate that. So
on one of the best shows in the entire Midwest, this one right here.
I'm really not sure how to respond to that. I didn't endorse this guy. Wait a minute. I live in Hudson. No. Okay, but they're kind of coming to Waterloo from Iowa Falls, which will be a 72-mile journey. That'll be on a Tuesday, and then Waterloo, they'll leave Iowa Falls. The date again is going to be Wednesday, July 22nd. So what are you looking for right now? Are you looking for volunteers, people to help out, or do you have enough already?
We do. So we've got 19 committees that it takes to put this event on. And so we need folks to help fill both leadership roles as well as sort of day of execution roles. We're also looking for sponsors. So VGM obviously is a big partner there, but we're going to need additional support.
Exactly.
And so folks going to experiencewaterloo.com, you can find the RAGBRAI button and figure out where you're able to fit in. Our goal is, while we've got a vision for this event, we also want to make sure that we're taking this opportunity that RAGBRAI presents as a community building exercise, that folks are able to really take ownership of this event and leave their fingerprint on what's going to be one of the best stops in decades.
Yeah, we've got the address there up on your screen, but yeah, your Facebook, RAGBRAI Waterloo, Facebook site is already up, the website is already up, some tons of information. And also, are you looking for families that might be willing to take in riders like they usually do and stuff like that?
We'll need hosts, we'll need volunteers, sort of the full gamut. It really is an all hands on deck. And so we're asking not just sponsors to help with volunteers, but community members as well to help this community lift.
Okay, we're going to take one short break here on the Steele Report for this week. We'll come back. All of our shows are online on kwwl.com. It is the best show, of course, as the mayor. Thank you for pointing that out. He said modestly. We'll take a break right now and come back in just a moment. And welcome back to this week's edition of the Steele Report, as we're talking about the RAGBRAI 48 overnight stop on July 22nd in Waterloo with Tavis Hall and Mayor Hart. And I noticed on the website, which is a good one that you have there for Experience Waterloo, Tavis, it says, "Welcome to Waterloo, an overnight experience at the riverfront." Now, I thought maybe that was going to be your theme. You're still working on an actual theme for this event, right?
That's right. That's right. Like I said before, our goal is to engage as many community members as possible. That includes on the marketing side as well. So we've got marketing, festival, campgrounds, and then there's a safety committee. And we want folks to sort of find whatever way they feel rewards them the most personally to get engaged with the committee. And so we're asking folks to go to experiencewaterloo.com, let us know where you want to volunteer and where you want to get involved. And then we're going to pick that theme as a group of what messaging really speaks best for Waterloo.
Sounds great.
And to reiterate, it's absolutely important. You want to figure out how you can be involved, how you can be engaged. Please sign up, because it is the level of volunteers that makes the determination how successful this event is. And we want to show them that Waterloo nice, So please get to the website, sign up, call Experience Waterloo, or call your cell phone number. We'll get that to you in a few minutes. But we have to make sure that people get signed up because volunteers make all the difference.
They sure do it. You know, the mayor was praising my show here in the first segment, so I will say also, you have a show for City of Waterloo called Heart for the City. So I assume you'll be talking about RAGBRAI in your program at some point too, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And we may even do a live remote.
Fantastic.
There. So
well, I know we'll be doing plenty of live remotes. We'll probably take our entire newscast somewhere in the downtown area. So kind of give us a vision of what it's going to look like down by the amphitheater, Tavis. What's that going to be like? Yeah.
So
is that where the major concerts will be?
Well, so we're actually sort of unique in that we're going to have 2 stages.
Okay.
So we'll have one at the amphitheater, another at the expo grounds. So sort of within that footprint on the west side of the river, but it'll be the full gamut. And then the overnight, the campgrounds, primarily will be at Exchange Park, but we'll utilize San Susie and some other spaces around as well. So it's going to be a really cool experience to showcase not just downtown, but some neighborhoods as well.
Yeah, there's going to be huge crowds downtown, so obviously people are going to be advised. We're going to talk a lot more about this later as we get close. We're still 5 months away yet, so a lot of planning yet to be done. But to have those 2 venues for the concerts, 2 big stages within 2 minutes of each other is fantastic, or less than 2 minutes actually, like a minute. Yeah.
Right.
It's a cool opportunity to showcase. To the mayor's point earlier, a lot of the foresight that went into developing that west side space, both the amphitheater, expo grounds, sort of that whole area. WDC has done a fantastic job with helping guide the development on that side and all of the membership over there.
And having a RAGBRAI is a tremendous economic impact to our local community, from vendors, from hotels to food, beverages, and all of that. It's a huge boom to our local economy. So we're so excited.
Fantastic. Experience Waterloo website also, Tavis, I noticed you have How to Celebrate Black History Month on there. Tell people just a little bit about that. We're in Black History Month right now, and that's a good source then to go to your website there.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we try to do some of this throughout the year, right, where we aren't just talking about which hotels to stay at or which restaurants, but also ways to fully engage in our community. And Waterloo offers a unique experience for Iowa with certainly a sizable black population. And so we try to drive as much traffic as we can to the Experience Waterloo website, get folks to go in, check it out, read through. And there's a lot of points for folks to take away, whether it's Black History Month or MLK Day, whether it's Irish Fest, some of the calendar pieces, or if it's just different points of interest throughout the year. We try to be creative in how we're having that communication. So it's not just a, hey, go to this event, but sometimes it's a little bit more of a story about our community.
Absolutely. Yeah, I wasn't shocked at all that Waterloo got it. I was a little bit shocked at Dubuque. I thought Dubuque would be the natural step, but they're going to go a little bit south. They're going to leave here and go to Anamosa and then on over to Maquoketa and then end in Clinton this year. So real quickly, what excites you most about this opportunity, Mayor?
Other than the fact we have about 20,000 bikes coming through downtown, the fact that, one, that we are allowed to host, to see our community come together to support such a tremendous event and have thousands of people be able to see who Waterloo truly is. So that excites me, and it's one more incredible thing that's taking place here.
And Tavis, were you kind of on pins and needles, or did you kind of get the feeling from the folks at the Register and the RAGBRAI that Waterloo was going to be an overnight stop this year?
We knew that we were in the running, but we didn't know that it was a surefire thing. And so, we had a contingent of us that went down and sort of cheered on the city as they made the announcement. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, you should have saw the guy that had the cheese hat on at the meeting. I mean, we exchange Facebook information, and they can't wait to get here. They're actually going to stop by my office once they get here as well. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, there's some interesting characters on RAGBRAI, that's for sure.
I'm gonna come from behind my desk and have on my biker shorts too. So how about that?
I was going to say, will either of you actually ride in this race? Or it's not a race; it's just an event. Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure he's going to be hosting.
Yeah, I'll be a little busy.
He'll be working, and I'll be hosting. So I may grab a bike or two, or get out there.
All right.
You don't believe me?
I believe you. All right, so that's it for this particular segment of the Waterloo RAGBRAI for part of RAGBRAI 48 coming up on July 22nd. That's a Wednesday this summer. Coming up next, I want you to meet a young man who is the executive director of a new nonprofit, relatively new nonprofit in the area. They help out foster kids and foster families. It's called Cedar Valley Angels, and that's coming up next. And right now I'd like to welcome to the program for the first time Derek Kimball, who's the executive director of a truly great local organization, really much in its infancy stages, known as Cedar Valley Angels. And Derek, I had the privilege of emceeing an event for you not too long ago, so let's tell everybody what you're about. But let me read the mission statement here, first of all: to walk alongside children in the foster care system as well as their caretakers by offering consistent support through intentional giving, relationship building, and mentorship. So Cedar Valley Angels, what's it all about?
Yeah, well, what you just read there in the mission statement is what we do. What we find is that children in foster care often don't have enough resources in the Cedar Valley, that families who do foster care don't often have enough people pouring truth and love into their hearts, into their homes. And so what we do is we get to take people in the community who maybe don't feel like they are called to foster, but would love to come alongside a family who have some children in their home who are in foster care and pour resources into their home. So that's kind of...
And this is personal for you and your wife.
Definitely.
So tell us a little bit about your own family, because I think you said you have 4 children.
Yeah, we have 4 children. It always changes because we're foster family as well.
Yeah.
So we have kids that come and go out of our home, and we have 3 of our kids who are adopted. And what we found a couple of years ago, before we started Cedar Valley Angels, was that a lot of families who foster in the community, because it's a pretty tight-knit group, they just told me a lot of the same things. I'm struggling in this way, or I wish I had more people to help me with this or that. And I felt like, and my wife too, man, what could we do to help these families? And we didn't think that we would be starting an organization,
right?
But we kind of started to brainstorm some ways to help these families.
And this is something that really kind of came about here recently, because you spent many years as a math teacher, right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your background on that. I know you were at Hudson. We talked about that earlier, and I had forgotten.
Yeah. So I just grew up here in the Cedar Valley. I'm from Jessup.
Right.
And I went to UNI, got my degree in math education, and taught for 3 years at East High School here in Waterloo, just a couple blocks away, and then 5 years in Hudson. And I really loved teaching. I mean, I just loved kids. I loved the teachers and my staff that I had, and it was a really great time for me to meet some people, meet some children, and get to know their families. And one of the things that, again, we started to hear through that was that some of these children just didn't have enough going into their homes.
I was going to say that usually something happens in a family's life or an individual's life that the light bulb just kind of goes on, and you say, I am called to do this. Is that what happened in your life with you and your wife, or is there a specific instance you can think of, or just all of a sudden you said, we have to do this?
You know, my best friend in the world was an adoptive parent before I was, and I think that's part of what kind of triggered me to start thinking about this. Yeah, I would say that's the thing that caused us to start to consider it.
And Cedar Valley Angels has been around only a short time.
2 years.
2 years
Just
is
2
all.
years,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, how can people get a hold of you? I know that cedarvalleyangels.org is one on your screen there. That's an easy way. Any other ways you'd like them to contact you? Or?
That's the best one right
is,
there.
right?
I mean, you can sign up for the newsletter, you can sign up to volunteer, you can sign up to donate, all right there on the website. It's pretty easy to do.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the 3 things you mentioned in the mission statement. Let's begin with intentional giving. So to run an organization, you're in the nonprofit industry now, and you mentioned that your wife is actually a nonprofit major, right? In that area, but
yeah. So I ask her questions on a regular basis.
But you're the one that ends up in the nonprofit field.
Yes, yes.
And the nonprofits in this Cedar Valley area are pretty close knit. So, but it takes cash to keep going, doesn't it?
Yeah. It does. So one of the things that we have our volunteers do is they donate things to the family. So when we say that volunteers are walking alongside families, and one of the first ways is through intentional giving, they are getting things for them every month. Things that they may need or things that they may want. It might be laundry soap, it might be paper towels, or maybe they can't provide the things for the child's birthday for that month. It just kind of depends on the needs of the family. And then the other side of that you alluded to, Ron, is that we have needs as an organization in order to walk alongside our volunteers and our foster families to just provide the best personalized, intentional support that we can,
Right.
that we can provide to those volunteers and to those foster parents.
Yeah, if people can give cash, that's fantastic. If people can make donations, that's fantastic.
Yes.
But a lot of times, in my experience with foster kids over the years in the Iowa Child Adoption Program, sometimes a foster child moves and leaves basically with nothing.
Yep.
And that is where you can step in and help them.
Yeah, we hear a lot of stories